Welcome to another video with new stories from Ethiopia, Eritrea and Somalia. Firstly, a major attack is being reported on Ethiopian southern border. Heavy clashes are ongoing, and according to some sources, dozens of members of Somali region's Leo police have been killed in this attack. The attack was carried out by Somalia-based armed group, terrorist group Al-Shabaab. 4 days ago, Ethiopian government claimed that a top Al-Shabaab commander was killed in Somali region. And now we are hearing that heavy clashes ongoing, dozens of Ethiopian regional force members killed, and Ethiopian southern border is now fully exposed. This armed group can enter Ethiopia now. We'll have a detailed look at this development, viewers. A second news story is about Ogaden National Liberation Front armed group turned into a political party in 2018. Its leader Abdirahman Madi Made came to Jijiga today. He arrived in Jijiga. He was abroad. Reportedly, he visited Somalia too. And today he arrived back in Jijiga. I think a message will be conveyed to Abdirahman about growing ONLF and Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud government ties. Ethiopian government will send a warning to Abdirahman, it seems. Thirdly, we have a new story about 6 Ethiopian opposition parties, which a few hours ago held some meetings in Addis Ababa with foreign diplomats. Is this an invitation from these opposition parties to foreign diplomats to interfere in Ethiopian internal matters, or these parties have no option? So that is why they want to involve other governments to resolve ongoing issues in Ethiopia. Fourthly, we have a video for you. The video is from Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. The video is being shared as a piece of evidence that Tigrayans are free to express their identity in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. Lastly, Eritrean information minister today spoke about alleged false reports submitted by UN special rapporteurs on Eritrea. Yemane Gebremeskel has shared 2 examples in his statement that last month and in 2007 false information, false reports were prepared against Eritrea. Firstly, Somalia-Ethiopia border. 4 days ago, Ethiopian state media claimed that a top Al-Shabaab commander was killed in the Somali region of Ethiopia. His name was Sheikh Muhammad Usman. It was said that he was killed in Afdir zone of Somali region. Afdir zone, Al-Kare district, Badao, Kabale. He was running some recruitment camps there. He was recruiting Somali region youth. Recruits were being sent to Somalia. That was what was claimed by Ethiopian state-backed news sources. He was killed by Somali Leo police. Somali Leo police is a counter-insurgency force. It was formed in 2007 when Ethiopian government forces were fighting Ogaden National Liberation Front, ONLF. ONLF was an armed group back then. Later, in 2018, it became a political party. So this force was raised to counter insurgency in the Somali region. And we know that after the start of Tigray conflict in November 2020, Ethiopian National Defense Force was relocated from Somali region, Somalia border areas. It was relocated to Tigray, to Amhara, where there was fighting between Tigray forces and other regional federal forces. And this border area, Somali region, Somalia border areas, its security was handed over to Somali Leo police. Now, what we have learned is that Al-Shabaab has carried out a major attack on 2 towns, some say 3 towns. The towns are right on Somali region, Somalia border, Ethiopia, Somalia border. The 2 towns are Yid and Ato. In Yid and Ato towns, a major offensive has been launched by Al-Shabaab fighters. The 2 towns are part of Somalia. They are situated in Bakul zone, southwest state of Somalia. In 2014, Ethiopian and Somalia's forces launched joint operations, and Al-Shabaab fighters, they were pushed out of these places, Yid and Ato. And then some say Ethiopia deployed its troops, ENDF and Leo police, to these 2 towns. The 2 towns were serving as sort of buffer zone between Al-Shabaab and Ethiopia. Ethiopian Air Force also participated in 2014 operation when Al-Shabaab was pushed out of these 2 towns. Now, Al-Shabaab has launched an attack, and in this attack, it is being claimed that dozens of Somali Leo police members have been killed. Network is down. So it's difficult to get pictures, videos, but Somalia-based sources are confirming, some locals are confirming that heavy fighting is ongoing in Yid and Ato, and some say the 2 towns are under the control of Al-Shabaab. If Al-Shabaab, banned group, terrorist group, in control of 1/3 of Somalia, takes control of Yid and Ato, it means that it can enter Ethiopia easily. You can see Yid and Ato on this map. They are right on Ethiopia-Somalia border. Ethiopian southern border is vulnerable if Yid and Ato are under the control of Al-Shabaab fighters. 3rd town is Washako. Here we are receiving reports about ongoing fighting too. An alarming situation, alarming development for Ethiopia. What will Ethiopia do? Will it mobilize its forces? Will its forces enter Somalia? It seems that Ethiopia will mobilize its forces. Ethiopian forces will enter Somalia. Reportedly, Ethiopian National Defense Force and Somali Leo police reinforcements are on their way. And some say that this incident will be used by Ethiopia to deploy its troops to Somalia. But what we have learned is that Ethiopian troops were already deployed to these 2 towns, Yid and Ato towns. So it's not a secret. Locals know that Ethiopian troops were there in the 2 towns to keep Al-Shabaab as far as possible. So coming days are very crucial, viewers. Why? Because Somalia's government has announced that it's going to launch a forceful, comprehensive operation against Al-Shabaab, that it won't talk to Al-Shabaab. Hamza Abdi Bare, Somalia's Prime Minister, today announced that a forceful operation will be launched against Al-Shabaab. And Al-Shabaab just 3 days ago carried out a car bomb explosion in front of a hotel in Hersha Bele, regional state of Somalia. 2 days ago, US Africa Command conducted an airstrike on Al-Shabaab fighters in Jubaland state of Somalia. So it means that things are heating up in Somalia. On one side there is Al-Shabaab, on the other side there are Ethiopian, Somalia's, Kenyan forces supported by the US. And in coming days we could see this fight intensify. Ethiopia already destabilized in Oromia ongoing fighting. Tigray still destabilized. Operation against OLA was launched 2 months ago, still ongoing, and now a new front has been opened. We'll try to monitor what's happening on Ethiopian southern border. We'll try to keep you updated about this key development on Ethiopian southern border. Secondly, a new story about Ogaden National Liberation Front, ONLF, armed group turned into a political party in 2018. It has been operating in Somalia, in Ethiopia, when it was an armed group. And after Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud took office, we have seen that ONLF leaders are being well received in Somalia. ONLF was invited to Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud's government's inauguration ceremony last month. And some say Ethiopian government is a little concerned about growing ties between ONLF and Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud government. Abdirahman Madi, ONLF leader, today arrived in Jijiga, Somali region. He was welcomed by his supporters, by his party workers. It is being said that a message is being conveyed from Ethiopian government to ONLF leadership, that it should be careful about getting close to the government, Somalia's government of Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud. The message has been sent, or it will be sent, to Abdirahman Madi that he should be careful regarding developing close links with Somalia's government. Thirdly, a new story about 6 Ethiopian opposition parties which today, a few hours ago, held some meetings with foreign diplomats in Addis Ababa. Around 2 months ago, 10 opposition parties formed an alliance, COPP, Caucus of Opposition Parties. The alliance was formed to tell the international community that Ethiopian government's announced National Dialogue Commission was not impartial and national dialogue was not progressing in the right direction. The 10 parties issued joint statement demanding structural changes in National Dialogue Commission, but Ethiopian government has not listened to this opposition platform. The 10 parties are mostly opposition parties, all opposition parties. They held a meeting with diplomats from Britain, Denmark, Australia, Canada and Germany. These diplomats held meetings with opposition parties at British Embassy in Addis Ababa. 6 party representatives were there in the meeting. Firstly, Oromo Federalist Congress, OFC, opposition party from Oromia of Jawar Bekele Garba, Mrira Gudina. Secondly, OLF, Oromo Liberation Front, Daud Ibsa, opposition party for Oromia. Thirdly, ONLF, Ogaden National Liberation Front, party in the Somali region of Ethiopia. Fourthly, Arena Tigray from Tigray. Fifthly, Afar People's Party from Afar. And sixthly, Hibar Ethiopia. The six parties their representatives went to British Embassy in Addis Ababa. Their meetings were held. The parties sent a message. They shared their reservations about national dialogue. They said Ethiopian government's National Dialogue Commission is not the step in the right direction, because National Dialogue Commission is not independent, it's not impartial, it's not inclusive. So dialogue should be participatory, inclusive, independent and free. These parties have conveyed the reservations and their suggestions what should happen. Now question is it an invitation from these parties to foreign diplomats that they should intervene in Ethiopian internal matters? Or the parties have been forced because they have no options left? These political parties have some responsibilities. They represent the people of Ethiopia. Ethiopian government is not listening to their demands, their suggestions regarding national dialogue. So which options do these parties have? If the parties don't do anything, their members will join armed groups. That is what is happening. OFC members, leaders are joining OLA, because OFC workers who are joining OLA, they believe that OFC cannot do anything, that its demands, its calls are not being listened by Ethiopian government. So parties will have to start some street movement to put pressure upon Ethiopian government, or they'll have to engage international community. They can't start a street movement. They'll be put in prisons. So they'll have to involve foreign diplomats. Ethiopian government is vulnerable to foreign pressure these days. Why? Because Ethiopian economy is in shambles. Ethiopia in talks with World Bank, with IMF, with EU for loans, grants. Inflation rising, unemployment rising, food prices rising. So Ethiopia is relying on foreign assistance, and these foreign diplomats can play a role in convincing Ethiopian government that talks should start anew, that National Dialogue Commission should be restructured. Let's see, will it happen or not? Fourthly, we have a clip for you from Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. The clip is being shared as a piece of evidence that Tigrayans are free to express their ethnic identity in Addis Ababa, that false propaganda is being spread, that all Tigrayans are being arrested in Addis Ababa. The clip shows a girl who seems to be a student at Sheraton Hotel of Addis Ababa. She is attending a graduation ceremony and she is seen wearing Tigray's flag. So it is being said that a girl is free to wear Tigray's flag in Addis Ababa. It means that Tigrayans are not being detained, not being arrested. Well, firstly, the girl seems to be from elite or upper middle class of Ethiopia. Poor Tigrayans have suffered. All those Tigrayans who are in detention, are they fighters? No, they are civilians. Most of them are civilians, even children, elderly, women. They are not fighters. In Samra, are all detained Tigrayans fighters? No, we know that thousands there are women, children, elderly. The girl is free to express her identity because she is from a class which is a bit protected in Ethiopia, I personally think. That is why she is allowed to express her identity freely in this program. Watch this clip from Addis Ababa. Lastly, viewers, Eritrean government today accused UN special rapporteurs that UN special rapporteurs have been preparing false reports. They've been peddling false information against Eritrea. Eritrea is building up its case against UN after Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud government denied the involvement of Somalia's forces in Tigray conflict 2 days ago. Villa Somalia spokesperson denied all reports that Somalia's soldiers were deployed to fight in Tigray. Last month, Abdul Salam Babikar, UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea, submitted a report to UN Human Rights Council about human rights situation in Eritrea, and he claimed in that report that Eritrea deployed Somalia soldiers to fight in Tigray, which has been position taken by some Tigray leaders too. But former President of Somalia, Abdullah Farmajo government, and incumbent Hassan Sheikh's government both have rejected these reports. They say that no Somalia soldier was deployed by Eritrea to fight in Tigray. Now, when both governments have denied these reports, Eritrea is building up its case. Eritrea says that UN Special Rapporteur's reports on Eritrea are false. Yemeni Gabriel Meskel today said, Eritrean Information Minister, that in 2007, a false report was prepared against Eritrea that Eritrea sent 2,000 soldiers to Somalia. And that report was used to keep Eritrea under sanctions. So, Eritrea is accusing UN special rapporteurs that they have been involved in peddling false information against Eritrea. Now, question is Eritrea giving access to Abdul Salam Babikar to Eritrea? Has he been allowed to visit Eritrea? Since his appointment as UN Special Rapporteur on Eritrea, he has not been allowed to enter Eritrea. How will he report? He will report remotely. He'll have to share speculations as well, because he is not allowed to enter Eritrea. So that is why he is bound to make mistakes, which he is doing. Eritrea should allow Abdul Salam Babikar to visit Eritrea, should engage Abdul Salam Babikar, and after that Eritrea can challenge his reporting. Thank you for watching.